following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Hangin with Cowboys.
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, and Shannon Gross.
Monday. That was tough to watch yesterday.
Loving this beat, man. This is the underlay right here, man. Yeah.
Kurt's not with us today. He's feeling a little under the weather, so hopefully we get him back tomorrow.
Cowboys will do that to you.
Yeah. I'd have stayed home too, Kurt. I'd have stayed
Kurt,
home
way
too.
to cop out on the fellas, Kurt.
Oh man. Well, Nate, so I'm gonna ask a lot from you of this show.
Yes, you are.
'Cause I was back and forth during the game.
You were.
We were doing some new stuff on the social media front.
Yeah,
so
I knew you would have
I
an
was-
excuse of
I
why
was
you
a-
say you didn't watch the game.
I buried my head in the sand.
Right.
No, I got to see enough of it. They had a good TV set up there at the stadium, so I was able to, between being on the field and being back in the photo workroom, able to see most of the game. But what it looked like for me, and I kind of
There's Mickey
there is Mickey hobbling around.
with strep toe.
Mickey missed his first game in like 40 years because of his strep toe.
Yeah, wow.
Poor old Mick.
Strep and staff.
Strep and staff. I thought you were going to say strep and step.
No.
No.
And it's not like hoof and mouth. Step and
Hey, you know,
staff is-
that's don't prolong the obvious. We have to talk about it.
Do we have to talk about it? All right.
We're going to talk about the Serena Williams controversy,
Oh,
right?
man. No. I'd rather talk about that game than that.
Yes.
So there is a silver lining, I think.
Yes, it is.
I think. And you give me your opinion on this. We were talking about this upstairs in the office this morning.
We who?
Me and Snake Eagleton
Right.
and Nick.
Okay.
And I think as bad as you played, your defense was on the field. How many snaps did you got that over there? How many snaps were each one of them on the field? They have time of possession in the
Time of possession for us was 29-24. Time of possession for them was 30-36.
Yeah. So
We ran 57 plays. They ran 61.
okay. So your defense was on the field a lot longer than your offense was.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they were on the field that long, they still played really well. They had a hell of a first half. It looked like they got tired in the second half a little bit, and they weren't quite getting after Cam like they were in the first half.
They
But
4 of 12 on third down. They held Cam them to 33%.
not bad. Respectable. Very respectable. As
Gave
bad
it
as
293 yards. That's all they gave. Total yards, they gave it 293 yards.
very respectable.
Mm-hmm.
So as bad as they played on offense, your defense kept you in the game, and you had a chance to go down and tie the game at the end of the game. You didn't get there, but as bad, I mean, hopefully that's as bad as your offense is going to play all season. You called it last week. You said it's going to take 4 weeks before we see good football. That was not good football.
Nah.
So you telling me we got to sit through 3 more weeks of this?
I'm gonna say this right here. You know, and the number is 888-855-2297. That's 888-855-2297.
Yeah, we need to hear what you guys think about this.
You know, last night watching the game with brought us here back at the Star. You know, kind of emotional. You know, kind of, looking at it crazy. You know what I'm saying? Have a lot to say, and when we do it. Let me say this here: when we do have a caller, you have to be kind of quick today. No speeches. You know, be kind of quick in what you got to say, and we gonna move on.
Yeah, because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So when I look at this game, and I calmed down, I got home, and I looked at it again this morning while I was working out. You know, it's a lot that you can say. But what you can't say is, number one, they gave great effort.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, our defense played outstanding, even though Sean Lee didn't have one of his better games.
Right.
even though Wilson didn't have one of his better games. So we played and got turnovers, got sacks, hit people for losses. Our defense played well enough to win. They only gave up 16 points. Now, let's go over to the offense. You knew that it was going to be tough sledding. All week long, I said, okay, you got Short, you got Dontario Poe. In the middle of that triangle is Kinkley. I knew that it was going to be tough sledding. But what I thought would be easier, I thought with our receivers, which I don't know these guys, and they're an unknown factor, but I thought with their third-year corner that's not very good and a rookie corner, we should have won that with our quarterback. I thought we would win that battle. I thought we would throw enough passes at the right and key times that we could be in the game. We lost the game one possession. We lost the game one possession. Now, whether you want to say going for it on fourth down with all your timeouts left, with over 3 minutes. We could have kicked it, pinned it down there. We got one of the best punters in the game, correct? Could have kicked it. So it's a lot of questions you have to answer, but one question that don't have to be answered for me is Dak has to play better. Now, you're going to find any excuse that you need. Well, he didn't have great mechanics. Well, it was humid. Well, it had just finished raining. You can find any excuse you want. But when you run up against a team that made a concerted effort that your running game was not going to get on track, and you put yourself behind the chains, they were 2 for 11 on third downs. That's 18%. When you put yourself behind the chains, someone has to get you from behind those chains. Somebody has to run a good route, and the quarterback has to throw a good ball. Now, people will say, hey, well, the offensive line didn't play as great. Come on. No. Go back, watch the game. My man gave up a sack early. My left guard gave up a sack early, but that was it early in the game. As the game wore on.
Did he play better?
Yeah. He played a good game. As the game wore on and their defense started to outshine our offense, it got a little bit more uglier. The rest of the guys played okay. You can't have a third and long situation repeatedly because that gives the advantage to the defense. Early in the game, remember, we hit up the middle first, no gain. Then we threw a quick screen to the guy from the Rams, Tavon. We got a penalty. We got a penalty.
Yep.
Then later on, we was trying to have some success, and then we got a penalty again by, our left tackle Tyron. That's unusual, but it happened. Okay.
That was the same play.
No. We got a holding on one down further down the road. The other one was a hit in the back. On the
and that was
screen.
Tyron.
That was Tyron. Then later on in a different series, I think he got a holding.
Yeah.
So here we sit. They're pumped up. We're not being able to run the ball, especially I knew we weren't going to be able to run up the middle. But, okay, here we sit. This is our guy, the beginning of our guy, and I'm talking about Dak, third year. What do you do? Where does the spark come from? The spark can only come from one place. If your running game is getting shut down, the spark can only come from the defense. They drove down. Ross breaks through, knocks the ball out of McCaffrey's hand, and all of a sudden, D-Law winds up with it. Defense doing what they got to do. They keeping them off the board. They giving you the ball back. Maybe not great field position, but that should have been a spark. Defense was sparking when they needed a spark. We needed one or two guys on our team, whether it was a wide receiver making a big catch breaking, whether it was a punt return, whether it was a kickoff return, we needed somebody to spark. But when you can't get that spark from anybody on your team, it's one guy. It's one guy.
Quarterback.
That has to give you that spark. He didn't give it to us. Now, you don't tell me at the beginning of the game, they was all over him. No, they wasn't. Now, whether receivers was getting open, I have to check with Broadus. Whether receivers was getting open in time, whatever, he has the ability to run with his legs too. Mm-hmm. So if you were that quarterback that was immobile, I can understand. Okay, when nobody open, I couldn't, I'm not that guy, but you are that guy, and we don't have two true playmakers on offense. That's our quarterback
and your running back,
and our running back. Mm-hmm. Both of their skill sets is predicated on other people. Our offensive line, wide receivers getting open, whatever. But they came out the second half, we loosened them up. Okay, that's fine. But we still weren't making the correct throws. We cannot go, and I heard Hellman say this, I think he said it, my phone went out on me. I was watching their show. You cannot have 18 games of can you set your feet right? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got to be able to set your feet. You got to be able to throw it from an awkward angle. You got to be able to throw it because the NFL requires that. NFL requires that. It ain't going to be perfect throws. It ain't going to be perfect. Cam didn't have perfect throws yesterday, but for some way, their receivers got the ball at key moments. Mm-hmm. Go back in that game and watch it at key moments. I'm not saying that this is one game, one event. All of this can be corrected. The coaches can do a little bit better. The players can do a lot better because that's what it all comes down to. Now, the coaches are the ones that get fired if things continue to go wrong, but are these collective group of players, can they rally back? I think they can. But it's going to have to be a little bit different mindset when you go into the Giants game. And I'm going to give you a quick preview, and then we'll fall back and get some calls or hear what Doug has to say. The Giants are the same. When you look at Carolina and look at the Giants, they're the same. Now, they do it kind of different. I think they're missing their defensive end, the Giants are. They got rid of Jason Pierre-Paul. He's with the Bucks. But they can stop the run with Snacks and the other guys. They got a new linebacker that they got from the Rams, I think, Ogletree. But what they miss on the front end, they make up with Collins on the back end and Apple, Eli Apple. So they got better coverage guys. They got better run support guys in their secondary that come up and help make these plays. So we have to have that mindset, okay, we going into the same buzzsaw that we saw before. How will coaches attack it a little bit different? How will the receivers react to this? How will our quarterback react to this? Believe it or not, the guy I'm least worried about is Zeke. But how will these other 10 guys react? Because it's going to be games where Zeke gonna bail us out. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be games where can the rest of the offense bail the rest of the team out? 16 points beat us yesterday. If I'd have told you that, hey, man, we only giving up 16 points, and if I'd have said that before the game, what would you say?
On the road at Carolina against Cam Newton and McCaffrey.
That guy was drunk.
I'm 99.9% of the time you're winning that game.
Yeah. So we had a bad day, and you can find whatever excuse. Well, they didn't work together in the games, and guess what? You had a choice. Either sit you guys or play you guys. Because there wasn't nothing wrong with the quarterback and wasn't nothing wrong with the wide receivers. Am I correct?
As far as we know, yeah.
During the preseason, wasn't nothing wrong with those two entities. You chose to sit them. So this is what you get.
Right.
Now, they have to get much better.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you have to be a threat because if you don't get much better, then every team that we play is going to sit right in the box with that extra guy and say, okay, you ain't running the ball.
Yeah. And that's a good point you brought up. It's, hopefully it is just a rust thing. But if you play those guys and one of them gets hurt, it's like, why are you playing these guys?
Yeah.
If you don't play them and they come out and they play the timing issues or whatever it was yesterday, and it is a rust thing, then it's like, why didn't you play these guys? So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
You can't win with the fans, but I do know this right here. As bad as we looked, 2 years ago, we looked that same way against the Giants offensively.
Mm-hmm.
We
Slow
stacked
start.
around.
Yep.
Now we didn't see their side of the field until the middle of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't.
Yeah, it was the end of the game almost before you got to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and then it was the fourth quarter before you got to the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have to make some plays, and I didn't agree with it back then. I don't agree with it now. I heard Dak say, I trust Coach Law to put the right guys in because all of them going to run the right routes and they're going to be where they're supposed to be. I don't believe in that. I believe that you got to have one or two guys that are exceptional in what they do. And I'm saying that, and we still got rid of Dez. I'm saying that you got to have some guys that is exceptional at what they do. And even the teams, see, this is the undertow. Well, look at Tom Brady. And there ain't but three guys that can equal Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. The other 27 cannot equal Tom Brady. Right. So don't look at Tom Brady. Look at the schemes that they play in, and quit underrating Julian Edelman. Quit underrating him. Because we don't even have a Julian Edelman, is I'm pronouncing that right?
Yep.
We don't even have that guy right now that runs them crisp, crossing routes, and has the ability to beat you deep. We don't have that guy. So here we sit 0-1, and it ain't the end of the world. I'm just giving you the bare facts. But out hollering and going crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of hollering and going crazy, Eric in North Carolina, you still there?
I'm here, guys. I'm here. No
and
hollering today, no craziness
now,
today.
Nate's going to cut you off if you go too long today. So.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to be very brief today. And I do apologize for last year. I was so excited to be talking to you guys.
No,
anyway, man,
we're excited to talk to you too.
I'm going to be very brief. I just want to quickly say, I'm not going to panic just yet, like you guys just brought up. Not letting these guys get a good amount of snaps in the preseason together, not playing their third game. It might have had some effect on timing and rhythm. So I'm just going to wait and see. I don't want to just go crazy just yet. It is a little concerning on the offense and alerting how wide receiver wasn't really able to get a lot of separation together from the DBs. And so, there's a couple other things. But Scott Linehan, to me, probably is the most alarming factor to me because he's not really – you have different pieces to the puzzle. So the picture can't look the same. So you got to get creative. You got to bring some ingenuity to the offense. Because what he's doing is a lot of the same, and it's not working. It's not working. So, if anybody I would call out, it would be Scott Linehan. I'm not even really calling him out as much as challenging him. Now, and that's basically all I got to say. I do want a question for Nate. That's it. Quick question, Nate. You was talking about how much needs to be fixed, these questions that need to be answered. Like Scott Linehan, the offensive line has some issues. The wide receivers didn't play very well. The kicking game. Out of all of these things, what do you think they're going to have the hardest time fixing or changing or getting better at out of all those factors? And I'm going to hang up and let y'all go.
All right, before you go, Eric,
Cowboys
what'd you eat for lunch?
I'm sorry? I had some grilled pork chops today. I had grilled pork chops and I had kale and roasted roots. It's like yuca and potatoes and sweet potatoes, and it's sauteed up with kale. And I'm trying to lose some weight, so I'm trying to do my little health thing right now, y'all.
Okay, all right.
And one more thing real quick. We're about to get a Category 4 hurricane. It's about to hit our area in about Thursday. So please pray for the North Carolina, the lower eastern area. We're about to get hit with a massive hurricane. It's a state of emergency in about 4 or 5 states bordering North Carolina. So just
and you're 100% sure it's coming, right?
Yeah, we're 100%. It's
okay.
Thursday.
I know you're talking to me on your cell phone through the speaker, and you driving away from that, right?
Man,
Yeah, because if you ain't driving away from it, man, don't even ask me to pray for you, because I don't pray for silliness. All right, I don't pray for people that be crazy. All right.
Rain that the good Lord gave you.
Yeah.
I would drive somewhere if I had somewhere to go, but all my family, all of us going to be impacted.
Well, tell you what, rent your RV and leave.
Yeah,
Bring the family.
Bring them
bro.
on down here. We'll put them on the show with us.
Yeah, man.
All right,
We'll
okay,
take them to
then.
Canes.
All right, y'all. No doubt, man.
All right.
I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, thanks,
bye.
Eric. That's a good question, Nate. What out of that game, what concerns you the most? What do you think is the hardest thing to fix?
Two now.
Shannon, you will always hear me say, when you go on the road,
And up here you can
It's
see
three
it's
things.
Telos 1 and Telos 2.
Oh, okay.
Douglas, get
Douglas,
it together,
we can
son.
hear
We
you.
can hear
We can
everything
hear
you're
you
saying
saying.
back
Oh, sorry.
no problem. No problem.
I was training a little bit too.
It's three things that I hold my hat on, and we lost two of them. You have to play excellent defense. You have to have a running game, and your special teams cannot hurt you. Our special teams hurt us. We had a big punt return. The guy averaged. I looked that up. The guy averaged. What's that on the punt return? Well, anyway, I looked that up. The guy had averaged about 10 or 12 yards per return. Then he had a one big return for 30 yards. That changed the total field position right there. And then we missed the field goal. So special teams and our running game failed us. And when you go on the road in hostile situations, the running game calms you and gets your team back on track. And special teams keep you from losing yards, giving you negative yards or giving you bad field position. If you got a good punter, a good kickoff man, a good kickoff return guy, a good punt return guy, they always help you keep that balance in the field position deal. And we averaged on the 21. They averaged on the 38. That's 17-yard difference in where you start. That is a first down and a half that you don't even have to work for. So here we are on the road. Should be a better run offense than we were yesterday, and our special teams. It did not prosper at all.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, hang in there, Anthony in Miami. We'll get to you shortly on Hanging with the Boys.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
I definitely have an Instagram foodie thing, but the low-light camera on my new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T is getting me a whole new world of likes and shares. Baskets of bread by candlelight, colorful fruit plates in full sun. Even a dimly lit Cobb salad was recently hailed as a masterpiece.
Come in now and ask how to get half off the new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. Limited time only. See store for details or att.com/Samsung50. With dual aperture supports f1.5 mode and f2.4 mode. Dual aperture is installed on the rear camera.
Oh, I am craving a Dr. Pepper. I got some soda. I asked not for soda. I asked for ice-cold, craveable Dr. Pepper. Its flavor is more one of a kind than a four-toed sloth with a thirst for speed. So stop settling for soda and start demanding Dr. Pepper. I love sloths. When you crave a Dr. Pepper, nothing else will do. Grab an ice-cold 20-ounce Dr. Pepper today. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
To work this big land, you need equipment with values rooted as deep in Texas soil as you are. Like John Deere compact tractors with a 6-year powertrain warranty and big features that help you work less so you have more time to do what you love. John Deere was first in the Texas fields, and we're proud to be on the field as the official ag and turf equipment of the Dallas Cowboys. Find Texas-sized deals at myjohndeeredealer.com/football. Terms, conditions, exclusions, and warranty limitations apply. See dealer for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Back Crunch time is when you've got to stay cool, and nobody's better at keeping you cool under pressure than Tommy John. Tommy John underwear has moisture-wicking antimicrobial, that's the word that Kurt had trouble with.
Oh, but he said it, and you ain't.
Antimicrobial fabrics to keep germs and perspiration at bay. That means no discomfort and no adjustment. Tommy John, no adjustment needed. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 20% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. Let's go back to the phone. Anthony in Miami. What's on your mind, Anthony?
What's going on, my dudes?
Oh, man, just trying to take it all in and not hit the panic button and book that flight to Mexico just yet.
It's so big, and it's a lot to take in.
You know how this goes. First of all, I'd like to say, man, I love this show. Told y'all that this is my number one show on there.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that.
I watch the other shows, listen to them at work and all that. When I have my time, I do. I've called them 1 or 2 times, but I love this show. I love Jay, Eric. I love you. You know what I'm saying, Doug. You guys.
We love you too. Appreciate the love.
Kurt, get well. Hope you back. Whatever. Nah, I got all that out the way, right?
Yes,
I love
sir.
Football, bro.
You about to get cut off, bro.
Hey, Nate, I don't make excuses, man. One thing about me is like that's how I live my life. I see what I see. If things can be done, they never get done. People can be removed or whatever. We'll take care of that. But when you have something or you're in a situation, you got to deal with that situation. You're on the road, right? Hostile territory, right? You already know Cam. This is an ex, league MVP. You know that defensive front, in my opinion, is one of top 5, top 4 in the league. That front 7. Okay, so you can't. Okay, you got a young team. You got a young quarterback. What I love, I'm the most apologetic guy for that. I'm not gonna say I love him the most out of all the fans and support him the most. I can't say that, but I know I do. But when he has things he has to work on, he has to work on that accuracy when the pocket is clean and stuff like that. I can't make an excuse for him. He has to work on that. So I'm not gonna lie for him. I love that. Y'all bash him. No, that you got some. You got a decision making, brother. When them 8 yards in front of you, do you want that first down? Or do you want to try to prove to everybody you can throw that's saying you can't throw? So you got to be able to do that on your own. But when you're making all these penalties, when you're pushing us back, like I heard the special teams, when we're not getting those advantages early in the game and we're already behind the 8 ball, you can't do some things. The only thing I would love to see, we do a lot of untimely stuff. The play calling is what it is. Okay? It was there in 2016 too. Okay? It was there then. So, you got to take advantage of those things. You can't make those mistakes. You can't just do the crazy stuff, the undisciplined stuff. That, you're the leader now, man. So how long did it take Troy to do what he did, Nate? I don't know. You were there. Troy was young. Troy came to the league in 89, right? Mike, 88.
All right. Okay, my partner. Now, where you trying to go? Where you trying to go, my friend? Where you trying to go?
I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with this.
All right.
I want you to get in their face a little bit more, Dad. I understand your composure and your coolness, but, man, you like nothing like you trying to be unflappable. But, damn, man, get mad at somebody or something, you know what I'm saying? And then you got to tighten up on your stuff.
All right.
So
thank you, man. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Be that type
Thank
of
you. Yeah.
Appreciate the call, man.
Y'all got to shorten up now, brothers. Y'all got to shorten up. I'm going to have to give you the cut now. But you got to get to your point. The point simply is what he's trying to say is maybe Dak need to get upset, maybe to get mad, but that got to come from your head coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Dak's way, and people say that's not Jason Garrett's way. Well, it's got to be somebody's way. Somebody's got to say, hey, fellas, we got to pick this up. Somebody got to give us a spark. I'm not one of these guys. Coach Johnson, Coach Landry, the 2 coaches that I remember the most, they also believe this, right? We practice, and we try to have as perfect a practice as we can so the games become natural.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tell me how rocky the wind is. Don't tell me how deep the ocean is. Don't tell me how big the waves are. Bring my ship in. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line. So now you talk for 5 minutes to tell me how deep the water was. I don't want to hear it.
And
we need to win the game.
Lyrics to a hit record.
I don't know what.
Bring my ship in.
Yeah, I mean, who has been a bigger fan and who is a bigger fan than me when it comes to Dak and protecting Dak? But yesterday, we needed Dak. We needed him to make some plays. We needed him to have some timely throws. Some of the throws he missed were makeable passes. I'm not asking you to do the Brett Favre. I'm not asking you to be that kid that came back last night off of the broke knee. I'm not asking you to be Aaron Rodgers. No, I don't ask a guy to go beyond who he is, but he can and he will make these throws, because if he don't, we don't go anywhere. I have a question for Doug, and I have a question for you, and it's very simple. Who is the guy, when they look at the Dallas Cowboys offense, who you think first, on the first look, second look, and third look, who do you think they're going to try to stop first?
Zeke. By the way, where is Zeke? Where is little Zeke?
I had to put him down today. I had to put him down today.
Poor little Zeke.
Didn't put him down like a sick animal, did you?
No. I'm going to bring him back out.
He's over in the corner.
Okay.
He's in timeout.
Yeah, he's definitely in timeout.
I mean, the man did rush for 4.6 yards a carry, and you put him in timeout?
Don't matter. The Cowboys, the type of offense we run here, it's not going to be a lot of yardage. Running it will be, but passing it won't be. It won't be a lot of yardage. What we don't understand here is the offense that we run, it's going to be about wins. The stats say, just think a year ago, if Dak would have been 19 for 20 for 26 or whatever he was, it's just, what was that? Go ahead on the talk, Shannon, while I look up this kid's stats.
That sounds right. You looked it up earlier.
He was 19 for 26 or 19 for 29. Check this out. For 200 almost 200 yards. Last year, that would have won the game. 2 years ago, that definitely would have won the game. Mm-hmm. This year, it didn't win the game. So he's the league, the NFL, it's like a pitcher. You may go through the first round and get us. You may go through the third round and get us. But by that fourth or fifth inning, when we come to see you a third time, people building a memory and a book.
Mm-hmm.
And what they saw last year for those last 3 or 4 games, that's what they're trying to duplicate. They don't want to know your good times. They want to know what makes you have bad times, so they can advance that book. And that's the book they're in right now. So when we have it where he's not throwing very well, or he's not hitting the timely passes, that is what they're looking at. And they're trying to keep you in that position. So the only way we can keep him in that position is to take Zeke out of the game. So they're going to do everything in their power to take Zeke out of that game and see. And when Dak finally break through, because I'm saying he's going to break through. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping he's going to break through. So when he finally break through, now you're unstoppable.
What's it going to take for him to break through, though? Is it
a couple of completions at the right time? Yesterday, it'd have been nice if he could have got Blake. Remember when Blake was down? Oh my God! If he'd have got that one, mm-hmm. And there was another short one where he just missed.
It seemed like everywhere he was missing except that one. I guess the fourth down play where he threw it a little bit high over. I think it was to Thompson there at the end of the game. It seemed like everything was short. What causes a quarterback to? Is it mechanics? Is it feet problems? Is it what causes you to throw short?
Just not enough strength, not enough arm strength. Because it's some guys in the league. They don't never seem like they throw from a proper position. And I'm gonna repeat this.
Aaron Rodgers throwing off one leg last night.
I'm gonna repeat this, and y'all, you don't have to believe me because I got 3 Super Bowl rings to prove me right. When do you drop back and just have a perfect throw in the NFL, right, where your mechanics is just lined up? If you throw 100 passes in the NFL in a real-time game, you may have 20 of those where you can just drop back and look like Johnny Unitas. Come on, man. That don't happen. This is the NFL. So you have to learn to throw that ball.
Come on, man.
Peyton Manning devised, and he was one of the first guys I saw, where he had a wet ball and they just tossed it to him. He just, wherever it hit his hand, he practiced getting it out of his hand. A wet ball, whether it was laces in the proper place or no laces in the proper, and he learned how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because in a game, if it's raining, let me catch the ball. Let me line up the laces. I know they blitzing me, but I got to get everything perfect. The game is not perfect. The game is not perfect. So don't call in here telling me about what everybody else did. When they took away your run game, you have only 2 options on offense. Well, 3. You either give the ball back to the defense, however you give it back, or you can run the ball, or you can pass the ball. And ain't none of it gonna never be perfect. None of it gonna never be perfect.
The kids not play Sandlot anymore? Because when I was growing up, if it was muddy, that was a better day to play. If it was snowing, that was a better day to play. If it was raining, you still went out and you did it. I mean, why can't people play in the elements?
It becomes a I don't know, a neat situation, a clear situation. I really don't know. Troy Aikman couldn't throw well with a wet ball, but he found a way to win games. Mm-hmm. So things are not going to always be what we need them to be, and I hate to, what I hate to bring up is Aaron Rodgers and what he did last night. I hate to bring that up because Dak ain't on that level yet.
Right.
Dak ain't. And if he is, I've misjudged him because Aaron Rodgers walks up, looks, and you can tell he changing the play. And then he'll look again, and he'll change it one more time. So, but we don't run that type of offense. We don't run that West Coast change it type offense. We may have a check with me or something like that, and maybe I'm wrong is what I'm saying in that too. But we have to play better when we can't run the ball. So if we can't run the ball, we lose. You can't develop that kind of mentality. Okay, we don't rush for 100 yards, or if Zeke don't break 1 for 30, we lose. No, we have to find a way to win the game. Defense played well. Special teams was a question, and our passing was a question.
Let's go back to the phones. Brandon in Richmond. What's up, Brandon?
How you doing, guys? Love the show. Kurt, we're praying for you.
Thank you, sir.
Get well soon.
Thank you.
One thing that I noticed is this offense is built on controlling the game, but I feel like they don't know how to adjust when the other team doesn't just let them do that. And honestly, the current offense hasn't changed in a long time, and Des Bryant tweeted last night that he knew the routes and on-field calls pre-snap.
Well, Kinkley was out on the field calling them.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
And my question is, do you think that the tight end room will focus more on being a reliable big body target if it takes the receivers a little while to get there? Because that room will get worked out, but it's so many new targets that it'll just take some time. Yeah. I'll listen, and you guys have a
I'm
wonderful
with
day.
you, man.
Thanks, Brandon.
But you know what's so disheartening is the NFC, and I told some guys this earlier, the NFC may not allow the Cowboys to adjust. The NFC is going to be so tight. It is going to be so many tiebreakers, and I hope that's wrong in how I'm thinking, but how are you thinking? The NFC going to be so tight till you can't lose to these guys, which they, and then all of a sudden we got the Giants coming up. They lost last week. We got Seattle. They lost. So this race in the NFC is not going to allow you within your division, because let's say you win 10 games. Still, you got the NFC South that can possibly with 3 teams to win 10 games.
And Tampa didn't do you any favors yesterday by beating the Saints, because now they're in it. Right?
Brother, preach. See, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying each event, which is a game, has to be in the Cowboys' mindset. This is the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And people say, well, it's hard to get up for that for 16 games. Well, you know what? It's easy to sit home and go fishing after, you've been resting for a whole year. So, give a little bit of, give a great effort.
Right.
you cannot look at the, people say, well, the AFC. No. When they say NFC, something should go off in your head. We need this game. When we play, and don't tell me that players don't think. We do think that way. When we was in the NFC East, I used to see Michael Irvin, Dion, and all them guys looking at, okay, well, this is where we play the Giants at. This is where we play such and such at. This is where we play the Bears at. This is when all of the NFC used to rule. Oh, man, this is where we play the 49ers at. And then especially halfway through the season, you start looking like, okay, we got the tiebreak over this guy. And that's what you got to be playing for. Now, if you 12-4, you ain't worried about it.
Right.
If you 11-5, you ain't worried about it. But if you the 9-7 and the 10-6 guy, you better be doing something. It ain't like going up to the Choctaw, up the road, where you rolling the dice. You got a chance to control this. Right. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Let's go back to the phones. Cam and Chico. What's up, Cam?
Hey, guys. Hey, Nate. How you guys doing, man? Love your guys' show.
Appreciate it. We're doing good.
I'm a cup half full kind of guy. So the things I was focused on was this team going to fight and play good football. And I saw some good football out there. I saw some good football on defense, very encouraged by our secondary play. Sean Lee, you could just tell everybody was rusty. Sean Lee does not miss tackles in the open field. He does not take wrong angles. He does not get run over by a 185-pound wide receiver. Things like that just don't happen. So I just kind of chalk that off. I also don't see Dak. Dak just, you could tell he hadn't played. You could just tell he when he was back in the pocket, his clock was off. He ran into traffic when he didn't need to. And then the whole offense was wrong. I don't know if you saw where Short did a pull through, technique on Connor, and just pulled him and swept him by and was after Dak. But see, there was wide open tight end that he came off of before his clock was like, I got to go. And I don't blame him because they were all over him. But, I'm not really that concerned. They played, an 18-6 or a 16-8 game where you had a chance. Just too many mistakes, just holding calls, this and that. But, Dak, his accuracy, he had the yips. Everything was just wrong this game.
Okay,
but I'm not too concerned about it.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Thanks for the call, Cam.
Me either. I'm just, like I say, this is what we need to fix.
Yeah.
And it's not a big problem until it becomes a problem.
Right.
And our special teams will have to play better. That's at home and on the road.
And look, I'm giving the kicker a pass on this one. That was a 47-yard field goal, his first kick with the team, and the field was not nice, and the man hit the flag. Could have put a piece of. I'm giving him, Nate. I see you getting upset over it. I'm giving this guy a pass. Now, if he does it again, then okay, let's talk. But this one, I'm giving him a pass. Now, I tell you what.
What was the score when he went? It was 10-0, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And if he'd have made a field goal, it's 3-.
Yeah, it changes the game. Changes the game. But so do some of those holding penalties. So do some of those missed tackles. I get it. I'm not ready to fire the kicker yet.
I haven't said anything about the kicker. I just asked you what the score was.
I know what you were thinking, though.
Okay. You're just a kicker.
But I'm not worried either. I'm not ready to push the panic button.
I wish I could say what Doug said in private out in the open.
Can you bleep it?
Nah. I'm gonna tell you this right here, man.
What'd you say, Doug?
When you need points, you need points.
Mm-hmm.
When you need somebody to spark the team, you need somebody to spark the team. And a lot of guys were in that position yesterday to spark the team. The only guys seemed to come up big was our defensive guys.
Yeah.
We needed a big hit on the special teams, a big return, something to spark the team. We needed it. you know, and them 3 points were much needed, you know.
What'd you think about Joe Thomas?
I like them all, dog. Anybody on defense, I love.
You're a defensive guy today?
Nah, I'm with the offense. Like I say, it's just.
Doesn't Zeke typically, hasn't he started slow ever since he's been on this team? Here we go.
It's hard to know why, though. I mean, that's a statistically true statement.
Right.
It's hard to know why, because the first year, you have 3 instances. The first year, he was a rookie. Mm-hmm. Second year, the offensive line was totally retooled. And this year, the offensive line is shaken up quite a bit.
Okay, and I agree with that. Okay, so if that's the case, what shouldn't have been messing up yesterday? If that's the case, if Zeke started slow and the offensive line is retooled, what did we need to happen yesterday?
We needed a passing game.
Oh, it's going to always come back to the quarterback. Now, you can shake it however you want, but you know, unless you're one of them special guys that can jump off a bench and put 2 legs in your pants at the same time, it's only one thing happening at a time.
That's
you either run it or you pass it. And if the run ain't working, you hope your pass is working.
Yeah.
If your pass ain't working, you hope your run working, all right? One leg at a time here, Douglas.
And if they're both not working, then you score 8 points.
And if both not working, then you need special teams and defense to score for you. See, I tell people, Jacksonville yesterday said, you know what? No matter what Blake Bortles do, defensively, we got to try to put them in such a great position to they can stumble in and score. And if you watch Jacksonville versus New York still scored some points, but Jacksonville was just one. They was always on defense. Just they got an interception. They got a couple of a couple of fumbles. When you dominate like that, you know. That is exceptional, and Minnesota is exceptional. We don't know where our defense at yet. You know, where they get an interception, take it to the house. You know, make things. You know, get an interception is down on. You know, they take it to the 20, and all your offense got to do is just, you know, stumble into the end zone. That's just how some teams do it, but we don't do it that way. Our thing is being controlled by the offense. Well, mostly I run, but if you got to grow. What I'm saying is you got to grow. This game coming up, we may just beat the britches off the Giants. Mm-hmm. And everything we talked about will be null and void till we see Jacksonville.
Right.
But then Jacksonville coming. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So you ain't finna just do them any kind of way unless I miss. You know, I don't think our receivers can line up with their corners and just do what they want to do to them. I don't think our tight ends can just line up with their linebackers and just do what they want to do to them. They ain't shown that in the last year and a half, but right. maybe I'm just fantasizing.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get with Phil and Lafayette on Hanging with the Boys.
Cowboys fans know that the second best of anything simply won't cut it, and your skincare should be no different. A longtime locker room favorite of the players and the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Dallas-based Jack Black is the #1 best-selling men's skincare brand in the country because we make products that help guys look, smell, and feel better. Visit getjackblack.com/Cowboys to get $10 off your first order of $50 or more. Jack Black. Look good, smell good, feel good. Official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with sideline access and photo ops with current players, alumni, and cheerleaders. That's not all, though. You'll get to talk X's and O's with Senior Director of Player Personnel Will McClay, and of course with yours truly, me, Brian Broaddus. You can trust the official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and with us, you'll travel like a pro. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man's Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting Cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/Cowboys.
I definitely have an Instagram foodie thing, but the low-light camera on my new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T is getting me a whole new world of likes and shares. Baskets of bread by candlelight, colorful fruit plates in full sun. Even a dimly lit Cobb salad was recently hailed as a masterpiece.
Come in now and ask how to get half off the new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. Limited time only. See store for details or att.com/Samsung50. The dual aperture supports f1.5 mode and f2.4 mode. Dual aperture is installed on the rear camera.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Want to use what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your Jack Black Playmaker, 4 Jack Black faves, plus a full-size lip balm for just $10. And Nate, you get free shipping at getjackblack.com. Use code word Cowboys.
But a human log was trying to get off the field
my
yesterday. When
goodness.
they took everything the human log had to try to get off the field, they still got it at the end.
I looked up and I was like, he was running at us. We were standing right there, and I was like, what's going?
The human log was trying to make it.
I've
man.
never seen a player that thought he wasn't supposed to be in the game take himself out of the game, and he didn't get called for being 12 men on the field. He got called for being offsides because he didn't run straight across. He ran kind of catty corner.
Yeah,
man.
The human log, man.
The human log. We're gonna try to get him on the show this week. Did we ever get that Tyron Smith interview?
Yeah, Kent said it will be ready for tomorrow.
Okay.
And we were assuming that, you guys would just clean up the game today, and you'll have that for tomorrow.
That's good. Let's go. Let's talk to Phil in Lafayette. Phil, what's up, man?
Hey, Shannon. Hey, Nate. Listen, I know I'm running out of precious time here, but I'll try to be – not try. I'll be brief. Nate, I want your thoughts on this. I agree that we've run out of – should I say we've reached a point of diminishing returns with Garrett and with Linehan. But to me, firing them would be like treating a disease with over-the-counter medications. I mean, the problem to me goes deeper.
What's the problem? You got my attention on this. What's the problem?
Ointment ain't gonna cure it.
Got the strep staff, it sounds like.
The problem is the organization. Until we get an organization, and Jerry and Stephen are going to dump their lifetime contracts to the front office, we will always have these problems where we're we're fixing the symptoms of the problem and not the real problem.
Are you a doctor?
No.
Oh, you just watch.
I'm a humorist. No.
Okay. Yeah, you would. Wow. You watch a lot of movies, huh?
Well, I do. And I had, by the way, before, in case you're wondering, I had, for lunch, I had panned blackened hot dogs, Cape Paul.
Oh, wow. Well, let me ask you this, Phil. You're saying, I guess what you're saying is that the problem is ownership, right?
It is.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Does ownership draw the plays up? Does ownership go out and coach these guys up on the field? Does ownership install the game plan?
They hired a guy. Here's Jason in his 6th or 7th year, and was still having issues and symptoms. And he was a guy that was hired without any prior coaching experience.
Okay.
And now we're hearing about the calls for Sanjay Lyle and Alexander to be fired after one game. That's the over-the-counter medication. They're getting rid of those.
Oh my God!
Oh, great call, Phil.
All right, man. Yeah, you are funny. Okay.
We need you to call back next week or this week.
Yeah.
Well, if that's your problem, you're gonna keep having that problem because they're not selling the team and they're not firing themselves. And sorry if that's the way you feel.
Did they? This is a question to ask yourself. This you and did they look flat? Did they kind of look unprepared? Did they have the? I mean, they tried to play hard, but it just seemed like they had answers for us.
Yeah,
and we didn't have answers for them.
I feel like, to me, the defense did not look flat. The energy was there.
No, I'm talking. This is all offense thing.
Offense.
Now. Yeah, this is all offense.
I said this. It was a weird kind of energy in the stadium. It almost felt like a preseason game.
Right.
It almost felt like and this was just me being there, but it never felt like you said, they never got that spark. Usually there's a play or two at the beginning of the game that gets you going.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was flat like you said, but it was almost like you couldn't get out of your own way on offense. As soon as you get a little momentum, you get something to kill it.
What you thought, Doug?
Well, I think if the tables were turned, if it had been a home game at AT&T Stadium yesterday and the Cowboys beat Carolina 16-8, we wouldn't be super confident on this show either. I don't think Carolina had a great game. I think Cam Newton had a few good runs that
a few good runs that made
the difference.
And then he had some time. And the thing about it, he just had some timely throws in the third and fourth quarter. Just okay, let's just keep this drive alive just a little bit longer. And our defense still stopped them. Remember when we went for it, they had the ball on the 40 or 45 or 50. And our defense stopped them. And that's what prompted everybody saying, wow, why didn't we just punt the ball and pin them back with Chris Jones? And maybe we would have got the ball at midfield or a little bit past midfield, and we wouldn't have to go from the 20. And so some of the coaches' moves you make, but still I ask the question, you're going to have some timely passes
to
offset your run game. And if you don't do that, this ain't Nebraska against Louisiana Tech, bro. This is man on man.
The NFL.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm not panicking yet, man. I'm not booking the flight to Mexico. I think it's the first game of the season. You even said it last week on the show. We're going to have 4 ugly games where football does not look good and defense look good. I can live with that defense every week. You put that defense on the field. The offense, like you said, you got to get better, and you got to get better in certain positions, or it's going to be a long, hard season to watch Cowboy football this year.
And the other thing, we haven't emphasized it much, but, I mean, if you just eliminated half the penalties, it would be a different game.
And when those happen, because those happen at big times.
It happened every
game.
time it was third down.
Mm-hmm. And that was the other thing, and the defense wasn't the problem most of the game, but the very first Carolina offensive series would have been 3 and out if D-Law hadn't roughed the passer.
One thing before we go, Nate, we've talked about it on the show, and we wondered how it was going to play out. Did you see enough at the tight end position out of Swain to be comfortable with him as a pass catcher?
Man, I said it before. I'm going to say now, Swain can play.
Mm-hmm.
Swain is more than an average blocker, a good pass catcher. Now the question is, where the Schultz fits, where the Blake, I mean, the one pass he could have caught was skip and hop away from being caught. Where does Blake fit? Where does Schultz fit? I mean, I guess him and Rico going to play do-si-do with the inactive and active list. So,
one week, one the next. But you would feel good with plugging Swain in and saying, hey, he's my number one, let's go.
Yeah, and let's go with the fullback. I mean, let's go with those two guys because we know they're going to try to block. We know they're going to give great effort. I mean.
All right. Well, man, we're out of time, Nate.
Great callers, man.
Great callers. Great show. Maybe Kurt will be back tomorrow. Give us a little spark.
Well, see, the thing about it, Kurt's our stat man, but you see, I came
You did.
in.
You came prepared.
I came and did what I had to do, man.
Hey, injury creates opportunity, and Kurt may be out of a job if he doesn't get it together. He needs to get on the field. Get your together.
And those are jokes, folks.
Those
we
are
love
jokes.
Kurt.
We do love Kurt. Kurt hopefully will be back tomorrow. If not, he'll be back Wednesday. So we'll see him tomorrow, hopefully. Nate, thank you for bringing it as always. Douglas, thanks for pushing all the buttons back there. Kent, thanks for doing what you do. And we will be back, should be 12:30 every day this week on Hangin' with the Boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.